What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Nick Sangalis. This is Michael Manoogian. If you're not hyped up after that video, I don't know what is going to hype you up for this game. We got a hell of a matchup here, Manoogian.
Yeah, we sure do. You know, Regis only lost this year to Mullen, so coming back here tonight, they're going to have a lot of energy, a lot of momentum from their past few games that only having one loss this season. And, Nick, we were looking, and 81 years this rivalry has gone on, so definitely some tension here tonight, especially since it's the first round of the playoff. First team gets eliminated, so definitely a lot on the line right now.
Something to look for. It's just the fierceness of this rivalry. Coming off of a really intense game early in this year, Mullen pulled out the victory. They scored 26 points in that fourth quarter. The Raiders only scored 11.
Yeah, and so that's what Mullen does differently than Regis. Regis comes out strong at the first quarter, first two quarters, score a lot, and then they kind of slow down towards the end of the game. Mullen, on the other hand, comes out slow, finishes strong. So Mullen's definitely going to want to try to stay solid throughout the whole game, and as well as with Regis.
So something you got to think about, too, is how is this Raider team going to do after playing not that great a competition, really rolling through their opponents recently, and coming against this really strong Mullen team. And by the way, don't let the 5-5 record of Mullen fool you. It's a very solid football team.
Yes, Mullen did play Cherry Creek, Pomona, Valor, so the top teams in the state, Eagle Crest and Fairview. Yep,
and lost to a team from Washington as well.
Correct. So, you know, going out there, that's definitely something that is different than the Regis team, because Regis had to play teams that they were blowing out, you know, scoring more than 40 each game, beating teams by 40. So that's definitely going to change. The records don't really matter in this game, Nick. You know, going 5-5, they're still a solid team. They've played better teams than Regis has, so they're definitely stronger on that end of the field. But don't be fooled, because Regis also beat Creek at the beginning of the year. So both teams have faced hard teams. Mullen's faced a few more. That's why their record isn't as strong, but they still have a strong team.
This is one of the strangest 6-11 matchups I've ever seen. Winner of this game will play the winner of Columbine.
Columbine plays, I believe, Highlands Ranch.
So either way, tough teams there as well. So something to look at too, as we're talking about the comparableness of both these teams, is total yards per game. Raiders number 7 in 5A, Mullen number 11. So very close at both right around 360 per game. Yeah,
so definitely both teams are pretty equal. And then, Nick, something changed though for Mullen. Their starting quarterback came out of the season halfway through, so they're going to look to the sophomore tonight, who doesn't have as much experience as the senior did, Moon. So, DePizzle. So this is definitely going to change how Regis approaches, since there's a new quarterback, and how Mullen approaches since they have a new quarterback. So with that injury, it's a small setback for Mullen, but don't be shocked when you see the sophomore come out strong.
Something to think about too. DePizzle had 11 interceptions on the year and 15 touchdowns. Justin Lamb currently has 17 touchdowns and 2 picks. Incredible.
Yeah, Justin Lamb definitely improved from last year. We saw him last year. It wasn't his best year. Definitely a lot of interceptions. And this year he's been able to run the ball more. He's able to trust his feet and have gains of 10 yards just about every play if he's going to run the ball. So he's able to get the first down when it's needed. And that's something Justin can do that most quarterbacks can't.
Now also on this Raider offense, Kian Martinez, one of the best running backs in the state, number 7 in 5A yards this year with 1,356 and 20 touchdowns, number 2.
21 touchdowns, 20 rushing, one receiving. So this is going to go, if you go into the school records, the most ever by a player would be 21. So if he can score tonight, he'll beat the school record of most touchdowns in a season by a player. So that's definitely something really exciting for Keon as he tries to do that tonight.
And receiving as well, Marshall Parker having a fantastic year. Losing Quentin Birch last year, that's a major deficit for this team, and Marshall Parker's really stepped up.
Yeah, it's him with Keon Martinez. They lost DJ Jackson, so both teams have lost players, but there's always someone that's willing to step up and take the role.
Something else you got to think about is this Raider defense. Fantastic. All these players in the top 5 in their respective categories. Jake Heimlicher, number 1 in sacks with 15. Patrick Rowe, number 1 in interceptions. And thinking about a quarterback that throws a lot of picks, this will be an interesting game for Patrick Rowe. Yeah, for sure. Definitely Patrick Rowe and all the other linemen, everyone plays strong and with heart, and that's really what leads this Raiders team to their 9-1 record. And so that's something to look out for, is how strong the Raiders play. And as they play as a team together, no one's really worried about their stats. They're always going to play as a team, and that's something the Raiders have that they're not going to lose this season to finish the rest of the season. Absolutely. Linebackers really key for this Raider team. Tom Tuatili, who doubles as a running back occasionally, has 126 total tackles. That's number 3. Ben Heck, the senior, number 2 with 136 in total tackles.
Yeah, so both Ben Hecht and Patrick Rowe, they both guys really strong. And then you're talking about Tama Tuatelli, who's had some great catches. He even had the pass down the field for a touchdown. So everyone on this team is versatile, and as well with Justin Lamb, who had a punt earlier in the season. So every player can do something strong. They'll all step up when they need to do it, and that's something the Raiders have.
Now, looking at the Mullen team, Michael, what does this Mullen team have to do to beat the favored but comparable Raider team?
I think the strongest thing is going to be keeping their defense strong throughout the whole game, because with Keon Martinez, who's able to break so many tackles, if they can trust their defense, Keon's going to have find a new way to get through them, because it's really going to be their defense, because defense wins the championships, Nick. And so, tonight it's really on the defense, because we all know the offense can score, but if the defense can stop them, that's really going to be the game changer.
The running game has been fantastic for the Mullen team. Vivid and Moon combining for 12 touchdowns on the year.
And Moon, who's having a great season, he really showed us last game when they played the Raiders how strong he was on the running game, able to break a few tackles from Jake Heimlicher, who's one of the best in the state. And so that's really going to affect tonight is what Moon can do and if he can break through the defense.
Absolutely. Vivens, he's the senior running back that went out. They were using him as a wide receiver as well. Doing a great job there. 557 yards receiving, 656 on the ground. How much are they going to miss him tonight?
A lot, because this guy, he was the one who kind of led this team. He was the leader. Now he's on the sidelines. So definitely going to change this team.
Well, Michael, any last closing thoughts before we get under 10 minutes to go before the game?
I think it's all up to the defense, Nick, tonight, and that's about it. It's all about the defense. If they can stay strong, they're good. That's the team that's going to win the game throughout the whole 4 quarters.
Well, you said it. Defense wins championships. It's championship time. I'm excited. Are you excited? Let's go. Fantastic national anthem here to get us started off. Still about 8 minutes left to go before kickoff. And that was sung by 2 of the Regis Jesuit play participants. Play actors doing a great job. Shout out to the fantastic theater program. They got to make their way over there. There's a performance going on tonight. excuse our camera correction here. Trying to get you the best angle to this game. Now, Michael, if you could choose one player, that could be the impact player here tonight, really determine the outcome of this game, who's your pick?
You know, I was talking about the defense, and I think it's Jake Heimlicher. I think how many sacks he gets per game, he's had a few safeties this year. I think he's really going to change the outcome of this game for defense. And then if we're going to look at the offense side, I really think it's Keon Martinez if he's able to find the gap tonight, because they're not going to throw the ball as much as they used to. So I think it's going to be a big run game for the Raiders tonight.
Now, how about for this Mullen team? Who's their key players?
I think, even though he's young, I think it's their quarterback. You know, a sophomore, and I think him coming out tonight, and if he can show, you know, who he is and have a strong presence on the field, that'll really change this game.
Absolutely. And for me, I think it's Moon, the senior running back. With the loss of Vivens, he's going to have to really step up here tonight. Now, talk about the rivalry here between these two teams. Both Catholic institutions. Raiders, of course, Jesuit, Mullen, only Catholic, but they both share in the advent of Kairos, both share in the values of Catholicism.
And they were both once all-boys school.
Yes.
And so, you know, I think that's how the rivalry started, is two all-boys school in Colorado, and then Mullen, of course, switched to a co-ed school. Regis kept it a separate, co-divisional. So I think it's really going to be tough for these teams because it's the first round. So the loser goes home today, and that's going to be really hard for the team. It's usually you don't see these teams going out in the first round, but it's going to be one or the other. Mullen leads in this rivalry with 29 wins, and Regis only 24. They've had 3 ties in their 81-year rivalry, so definitely lasted a long time. And you know, I think it's going to come down to defense, and we'll see what happens tonight.
Now, talk about as a player. Getting ready for a rivalry game such as this one, is it any different than getting ready for any normal playoff game, even though playoff games are certainly extraordinary?
I think it's going to be a different approach, as, say, would be Columbine next round. I think that the Raiders might even know some of the guys at this school since they're both Catholic schools, so knowing each other. And then you also have the fact that these guys, Regis lost to them by 1 early in the season, and that's going to hurt them bad because it was their only loss this year, so they could have gone undefeated. Instead, they take the one loss to Mullen, and so that's definitely going to give them a lot more energy tonight, a lot more adrenaline, and we'll see how it turns out. So
absolutely, and you know, you mentioned that loss. How much does that impact this team's psyche and how they handle themselves? Are they nervous? Are they coming out for blood purely? What's their mindset?
You know, I think they knew that they had that game in the bag, and they blew it. You know, 26 points Mullen scored in that fourth quarter, and that's just, you know, heartbreaking for the Raiders. So coming out tonight, it's going to be whether or not they can come out strong and forget about that last loss. They can't really hold it as a grudge against them and play more aggressive, because that's where more mistakes will come. So if they can forget about it and move on and play this game strong, it'll really affect the outcome of this game.
Yes, absolutely. Now, talk about that. Floating around the school, there's been a lot of blame placed on certain things, but certainly, as you're mentioning, something you got to do is just put it behind you and use it as motivation purely.
And you can't say Mullen's a bad team.
Yes.
You're saying they've played some strong teams this year, battled hard against them. They even went to Washington. And so that definitely, all of this combined, if you combine who they played, who Regis played, they're equal teams, Nick. So it can go either way tonight. It's not going to be a blowout game. It'll be a good game at the start. Regis definitely is going to want this win more than Mullen after the loss to them. So we'll see what plays out tonight. 2:45 left to go in this pregame.
Now, something else I'm noticing here, I'm not sure if it carries any weight, but the size of the fan section, perhaps Raider one's more spread out, but it seems like Mullen's really traveling well tonight.
Yeah, definitely decreased for the Raiders, and looks like the Mullen student section is really increasing tonight. But as well, Regis is also standing. Looks like all their fans are standing, so looks small but mighty as well. very loud with
Absolutely.
the Rowdies.
Indeed. Now talk about how much in a fan base and how much empty seating you see in the stands as a player. How much does that impact your game?
You know, I don't really think. I think a misconception is the players go off the energy of the fans. Now that's true for the most part, but at the same time, you know, it's not all about the energy from the fans. They have their own energy. Coming off the loss last game, losing by 1, that's really going to affect the energy they have tonight. They're going to want that win bad, but Mullen wanted to beat them, want to go 2-0 against them this season.
Absolutely. 1:35 left to go before kickoff. We got like 100. Yeah. Something really powerful we see often here, Michael, is between these two teams coming together in prayer after the game. How much does that, after the rivalry, and how bitter it can be? What does that mean to this game?
You know, I definitely think it's hard for whatever team loses, as, you know, the team that loses gets eliminated from the playoffs, which we don't really see these teams getting out in the first round, but one of them's going to have to go. And so it's going to be hard for them uniting at the end, especially for whatever team loses, hold hands with the other team. That's definitely going to be a challenge.
Kickoff should be underway shortly. Two teams storming onto the field, as you can see. Mullen will kick off here, start this matchup. So the Raiders love the first possession. Now, facet of the Raider gang we haven't been talking about yet is the special teams, Michael.
Yeah, definitely, with Jackson Connolly, who's averaged almost 20-plus yards on each return. So definitely going to be an impact for... Actually, I just found out Jackson Connolly's hurt. So that's going to impact the special teams a little. It'll be Aubrey Marshall Parker, I assume, on receiving. And so Mullen's kicking off. We'll see who does receive it. Looks like Keon Martinez, who's really strong this year in the running game.
And the opening kickoff is underway from the lefty kicker of Mullen. Brings around the right side. Breaks one tackle. Brought down by a couple of Mustangs. The Raiders begin their first drive just within the 20. And this Raider fan base, as you said, looks small, but boy, they're mighty. I can hear them all the way from over here.
Yeah, and as we were saying, you know, it's not the players go off the energy of the fans, but they have their own energy. They want this win, so they play off each other's energy on the sideline.
Yeah, certainly no shortage of sources for motivation here tonight. I tell you, I'm ready to run through a brick wall here, Michael. Here's Lamb in the shotgun, as he so traditionally is. Got two receivers to his left, one to the right, rolling out to that left. Throwing it down the side, and a miraculous catch made. They say incomplete. That would have been one heck of a grab. I believe that was Jack Peppercorn, intended receiver.
Say again? Oh, your son? No, I don't know where he went. Yes.
Oh.
Wait, which watch is it? What's his name? Was it the 8th grader from MD? He said he was going to his mom. No, his mom.
Second and 10. For the 20-yard line. Here's Lamb. Thrown out quick to the right. It's Marshall Parker. And he is wrapped up right away. It's a great defense out of the Mustangs so far.
You know, Aubrey's definitely going to be a really strong part of this team tonight. He's the main receiver that Justin looks for. So he's going to be the guy they're going to go to if he can get open. It'll really affect the outcome of this game.
Certainly interesting development last game was how little they were using him in the beginning. And then once they started getting to a groove between Lamb and Marshall Parker, they really started clicking. So he's going to be a major key for this offense to get ignited here. Lamb throws out to the right side again. A little miscommunication. So Raiders will be forced to punt. 3 and out to begin their first drive. That's certainly something we haven't seen a lot here, Michael.
Yeah, definitely coming out like this. You'd expect a little more from the Raiders. But no, they get to the 27-yard line and forced to punt.
And you really mentioned how the Raiders start off so quick and really get at you early. Not able to do that on the first drive as that punt is fair caught off of the leg of Jack Peppercorn. So some fantastic field position for the Mustangs to begin here. Starting right around the 40-yard line.
Tamatuatelli, first one down there. Don't mistake him for being such a big guy. He's quick. So getting down there like that, making him call the fair catch.
Absolutely.
Beautifully done.
I'll tell you what, I would call a fair catch if I saw him running at me as well. So Mullen starts off with a huddle. Raiders so often do that kind of college offense where they look to the sidelines for play calls. Go no huddle. Mustangs start another center here. They hand it off to the left side. Finds a little seam for a moment, and he's shoved backwards. Looks like Gino Macias and Levi Rush were right there.
Yo, who's number 4? He's their quarterback.
It says Stitt.
Kyle Remington, a sophomore, is the quarterback tonight for the Mustangs.
And Raiders jumped right there. There's already 2nd and 7. See which way this ball moves.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, defense number 66, 5 yards, still second down. Penalty makes it
2nd and 2 coming up.
Raiders are definitely going to have to clean up their game tonight. Play more of a tighter offense, tighter defense, not making those mistakes.
Yeah, certainly last year they struggled with penalties. Had 10 plus in a lot of games. This year they really cracked down. So far, not so good. As that run is shut down immediately. Trying to go to the left side, off that left guard. Nothing there at all. This Raider front line, defensive front line has just been fantastic this year. We talked about it in the pregame.
Yeah, they're definitely, the run game won't work as well as Mullen wants it to. Jake Heimlicher, Gino Macias, Ben Hecht, all those guys on that line, they're not going to let them go anywhere.
And with a hurt starting quarterback, might have to rely more on their run game. And the Raiders' run defense is insane. As Remington under center, he's got 2 backs in the backfield, 2 wide receivers set. Hands off to one of those, he squeaks through a couple of defenders. And he gets first down and then some. That was Vivens. So correction there. Not hurt today. And Vivens certainly going to be a key player here. 9:18 left to go in the first. 1st and 10 for the 45. Remington, same formation as they had throughout this drive. Him under center. They pitch it to the running back. Got a couple of blockers. Skirted through a couple of defenders until he's brought down eventually. Gain of about 5. Looks like they're really going to lean on Vivens here heavily today.
Yeah, Regis is going to have to find a way to shut him down quick. They got to him quick there, but after running for 7 yards, which brings them down to 2nd and 3. So Raiders got to find something else to do. Maybe set up their defense differently.
Yeah, if you shut down,
what they do.
Absolutely. If you shut down the run game early, force the young quarterback, make some decisions. Now they come with the tighter set. 2 wide receivers to the short side. They hand it off to that right side. And it looked like they had him gobbled up, but he stormed ahead for a couple more yards.
Definitely, if they're going to be taking it up the middle of this game, I really think that's not going to work for them. They're going to have to pitch it like they did and try to cut around to the outside. It's going to come down to speed because the Raiders aren't going to let anything through the middle as we've seen all season.
So first and 10 from the 32. Mullen really moving the ball well. With that run game offense, can really slow the game down, but can really move those chains. Out of way, Michael. This time they're trying to hand it off up the middle. And that is swallowed up by that Raider defensive line.
Yeah, that's something they're going to try to rely on that run game, but the Regis defense is just so big and strong, and it's going to be hard for them to let any big runs come through. They have such a strong defense.
Indeed they do. So here's 2nd and 7. Inside the Raider 30. Remington, quarterback. This time to throw it out to the right side. Intercepted by Regis Jesuit.
And it's Jake Heimlicher.
It's a foot race. And he is wrapped up at the 10-yard line. Jake Heimlicher with the clutchosity.
And as we were saying, it's a sophomore quarterback. He's new. He doesn't have the much experience that he needs. So that right there, giving it right to Jake, standing right in his way, able to take it and take it all the way up to the, looks like the 9-yard line, maybe the 8.
And Jake Heimlicher read that route beautifully. That was the first throw of the game for Mullen. Talk about how much that gets into a quarterback's psyche when your first throw is an interception. All the way returned to the 8-yard line.
Yeah, definitely going to impact this game. Such a young guy, you know, a sophomore, didn't expect to start in the playoffs. Here he is, and he's going to be really trying this game to, you know, find a way to pass the ball without getting intercepted in a varsity game.
Here's Lamb, pitched out to the right side. This is Kia Martinez, tries to cut it up, and that is just gobbled up. Loss of 3. Now this is where this Raider offense really needs to come in handy. Really need to capitalize on these red zone opportunities. It's going to be so crucial to start to build a lead here against a really strong Mustang team as we've documented here tonight. Lamb in the shotgun. He's got 3 running backs back there. Tama Tuatelli, one of them. Kia Martinez takes the handoff, muscles his way for a gain of about 4.
Looks like they're going to get right back to where the line of scrimmage was on 1st and goal.
So 3rd and goal from the 8. Right back where this drive started. Michael, I think you got to throw it into the end zone with Marshall Parker.
There he is, set up at the bottom of the screen.
One-on-one coverage. Lamb in the shotgun, flanked by Kia Martinez. Fake the handoff to him. Look to Marshall Parker. He's covered. Lamb trying to flush himself out of the pocket, and he fumbles it. Cops it right up to a Mullen defender. And he is wrapped up at the 22-yard line. Oh, my, Michael.
Justin, you know, looked like he was trying to rush that play. Didn't know what he was doing for sure. The smartest play would have probably gone down back there, but instead tries to get rid of it. Pitches it right to one of the offensive linemen for Mullen.
And I think that counts as an interception, so rarely you see a defensive tackle get an interception. Lamb, we talked about in the pregame how little he throws interception and how fantastic his decision-making has been all year. Off to a rough start here. So Mullen picks up right where they started and on their previous drive. Here's Renninger, hands it out to the right side, trying to find that edge. Shoved out of bounds after a gain of about 2.
And, you know, going back to that last play, that's the mistake Regis can't have. We're talking about those small mistakes they make against those teams that they were blowing out. Then when you come down to a team like this, you can't make small mistakes like that. And now Mullen has the ball back on the 26-yard line, so Regis is going to try to have to stop it.
And how about the back and forth here early? 2 turnovers in 10 minutes. 1 on each side in consecutive drives. Something you see very rarely. something, too, I think the Raiders have to do. I really thought coming into this game they have to get ahead. We'll check the penalty.
Looks like the clock might have kept going.
Indeed. Anyway, Raiders, I think, need to create a little cushion for themselves, score a couple of touchdowns early, really be able to create that cushion for the second half. And as we talked about, they really slowed down in the third and fourth quarters this year. Mullen comes up quickly to the line after taking quite some time in the huddle. Renninger, the quarterback, under center. We see Lamb so much in the shotgun, so this is a refreshing new formation as they hand it off up the middle. Makes one cut to the inside. Respectable gain of about 3.
And taking it up the middle won't work for Mullen. As we saw before, the Raider offensive line just shuts them down. So they're really going to have to try to go to the outside, cut up. We know the pass sure didn't work the first time they tried it. So we'll see what they do on this 3rd and 4.
It's a big 3rd and 4 for Mullen. They can really start to drive it down the Raiders' throats. Can really start to create some momentum for themselves and really distance themselves against this Regis Jesuit team. Reminger pitches out to the left side. He's got a couple of blockers. Makes a beautiful cut up the middle. Gobbled up by almost the entire Raider offense. And it's good enough for a first down. He barely got to that first down line, Michael.
Yeah, and as we were saying, they're going to have to go to the outside to try to get yards on each play, and they showed it right there that it works for them, but you probably won't see them taking it up the middle as much as they want, as much as they like to.
Absolutely. This Mullen team looks like they have some speedy backs coming out of the backfield. Reminger hands it off again up the middle. Flag is down. Bunch of bodies hit the pylon, or excuse me, hit the turf. Check what the flag is. 4:04. Let's go in this first quarter.
Nick, it's crazy if you watch their setup. You know, Regis is expecting to run every time. There's no wide receiver set out for Mullen, so you know I wouldn't be surprised if 90% of this game is running for Mullen.
Absolutely, and that check the penalty. And it's a 5-yard penalty on the Raider D. So now it's 1st and 5 for Mullen. And the Mustangs really methodical on offense, I think is the word to describe it. How much they run the ball. Really trying to add up some short yardage plays. And it can be rather I suppose unentertaining for a fan, but if it's an efficient offense, it's an efficient offense. Reminger hands it off to the right side. Trying to find some speed around the edge, and he's got nothing. And a late hit coming up on Regis. Multiple flags hit the turf. And Michael, you talked about penalties early. Starting to add up here for this Regis Jesuit defense. So far, it's been some costly mistakes, self-inflicted wounds by the Raider team. That's really allowed Mullen. Seems like the Mullen is kind of coming out ahead in the beginning here. It's really been because of some of the mistakes.
Number 72 out there, 10 yards.
Correction, I thought it was going to be a late hit based on the reaction of the Mullen sideline, but actually it's holding by the Mustangs. So
Dead ball, personal foul, late hit. Number 45 on the defense. 15
interesting.
yards.
It fooled me.
It's still first down.
So 2 flags on that play.
So I'm not sure what the downage will be. They're calling for a first down on Mullen. A little confusing how they announced that, but late hit was indeed called. So they get First and 10 from about midfield. Reminger. Perpetually under center, seems like. Hands it off up the middle, and that is just shut down immediately. Oh, my goodness.
And Nick, again, taking it up the middle won't work for the Raiders. So, excuse me, for the Mustangs. And, you know, if the Raiders can find a way to stop the outside run, I really think Mullen will be trouble. But until then, Mullen's going to keep going to the outside, and Regis is going to have to find a way to stop it.
And Mullen's really made it clear. We are going to run the ball tonight. Not sure if it's a lack of trust in the sophomore quarterback or an incredible faith in the run game. Maybe a little bit of both. One toss tonight. Everything else has been on the ground. He's got a little space around the edge. He's pushed out of bounds. Right around the 45. Another flag down. I'll tell you what, Michael, this game's starting to slow down.
Yeah, for sure. Coming from the start off of the kickoff, you know, home teams were really coming out strong and no huddles, and now they're slowing it down a lot, you know, waiting for the play clock to go down to under 5.
And you want to talk about time of possession.
10 yards from the start of the foul. Repeat second down.
Mullen is going to dictate that tonight. Raiders move fast, like to air the ball a lot. They really trust Lamb to create some yardage with his arm. As another holding call comes up on the Mustangs. That's going to be an interesting development. How many mistakes they have. I think this game's going to be about who can make the least amount of mistakes. As most games are. Reminger, surprisingly, out of the shotgun. Hands it off up the middle again. Finds a little seam around a couple defenders, but shut down immediately by Patrick Rowe. As soon as he tried to find the edge, Rowe had an answer.
Right there, it looks like Regis is starting to find how to stop that outside run, sending them down to 3rd and 20 with the ball in the 38. So Regis, if they can find out what their defense is going to be, they'll really have a strong game tonight, because defense wins championships, Nick.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. So an impossible 3rd and 20 coming up. Reminger out of the shotgun. Strange. Been going under center all game. It's been sort of working for the run game. As again, play is stopped dead. Raiders are so certain it's on the Mustangs. And indeed it is. 3rd and 25 coming up.
That's really going to set Mullen back far, especially if they're going to be forced to punt after this.
You know, something we see in NFL teams a lot in these super long 3rd down situations. It's a little screen pass. Look for that. Out of their running backs. They really trust them, especially Vivens. So Reminger, flush out of the pocket, trying to find something downfield, and he's brought down by Jake Heimlicher. A sack added to the 5A leading total for Jake Heimlicher. Make that an interception alongside that sack. A good game so far for Heimlicher.
And it looked like Smallwood was going to get him, but first blocked, and then Jake Heimlicher able to follow up with the sack. But Smallwood was definitely putting a lot of pressure on that quarterback and forced him to roll out. So now the Mustangs, 4th and 30. So great play by Jake. 1 interception tonight. Now he's got the sack. Can't wait to see what he does the rest of this game.
Punt nearly blocked. Seems like the Raiders do such a good job of almost getting there. Not quite getting there. As Marshall Parker catches that one over his shoulder for a fair catch. And the Raiders, I think they really need to piece together a solid drive here just for some self-confidence. Fumble. I'm good, thank you. Thank you.
So Regis getting the ball at the 30-yard line. You know, definitely gonna be exciting what they do here to end this first quarter. Kind of offensive game they go to.
There's the run up the middle for the Raiders to start this drive. Respectable gain. This is Kia Martinez again.
Regis now taking their time in the huddle.
Indeed. Both these offenses trying to win the time of possession battles. 2nd and 8 from the 32. And Lamb fumbles the snap, but somehow caught it off the redirect. So mistakes continue to mount here for both sides.
You know, it's getting cold out here. This is probably one of the colder games we've had all year. We had one with snow, but this game really going to affect both teams. You know, cold hands for Justin.
And I'll tell you what, cold hands really can cause some fumbles. I'll tell you what, my cold hands are affecting me up here in the booth. So I can't imagine what it'd be like down there on the field. That'll do it for the first quarter of play. Still knotted at 0-0. It's been a defensive matchup so far. It's been a story of turnovers.
And we're going to have some highlights in between these first two quarters.
Chalmers, drag the highlights onto there and play them. How do you use these things? Hurry up.
Stick with us shortly. Let's try to get you some of these highlights for the intermission.
Are there any highlights, Chalmers?
And this is picked off by Michael Bennett coming down the right side. All alone. A foot race to the pylon. He scores. Lamb now out of the shotgun. They go quick. As soon as they set up. Throw out. And here we are underway for the second quarter of play. Justin Lamb and the Raiders start this drive off at their own 25. Lamb under pressure, trying to flip it up the middle. That looked dangerous. Kim Martinez with the intended receiver. He had a ton of pressure on him as he tried to make that throw.
Raiders going 3 and out again. So something to look out for. Regis Jesuit really going to have to step up their offensive game.
Peppercorn set to kick this one away as the offensive struggles for Regis Jesuit continue. This one's short. Takes a couple of hops before it's down by Levi Rush. Be first down. Mullen, their own 30-ish. Stick tuned at halftime as we'll bring you an update quickly from Ryan Tierney and the RJ Sports Analytics crew. Doing some great work with us all year. I'm always looking forward to what they have to say. So 4th and 10 from the 40-yard line. Ranger back to the comfortable under center position as they try to hand it off at the middle. And again, just absolutely nothing there. Shut down instantaneously. Short gain of 1 on that one. Mullen again, slowing things down, going with the huddle. They're sticking what's comfortable to them. Methodical, run it in your face type of offense. Manager flips out to the left side, and the ball is loose. Raiders think they have it. Let's see what the official call is.
Looks like Tom Tuatelli was the first one to jump on him.
Still no signal.
Looks like he tried to cut back, and Thomas did not fall for it. And it looks like
And the Raiders come away with it. Regis Jesuit creates another turnover.
Now they got to score. They got to capitalize on this opportunity and score. They can't make the same mistake they did last time.
You know, something you look for in basketball is turnovers and then points off turnovers. Same thing for football. I think the points off and turnovers far more valuable than the turnovers numbers. So far, Raiders actually had negative result off their last turnover, as they threw an interception. Now, ball rests at the 37-yard line. First and 10. Lamb out of the shotgun. Snap that one rather quickly. Throw it out to the left side over a defender's hand. Into the grasp of Marshall Parker. Excuse me. It's Jack Peppercorn on the reception.
7-yard gain on the play, 2nd and 3 for the Raiders.
2nd and 3 coming up. Raiders going with a light huddle, I would call that. Still looking to the sideline for assistance. They hand it off to Cam Martinez, and that is swallowed up immediately by the front line.
Looks like he tried to curl, but just couldn't get around it.
No gain on the play, 3rd and 3 for the Raiders.
No gain there. Good job to get back to that line of scrimmage by Martinez. And you know, if you want to talk about stylistically these offenses, certainly any fan would tell you that Raider offense is more fun to watch, more balanced attack. Mullen, really, if you look at the numbers, they've been balanced all year. But tonight, they've been going with the slow it down, run it in your face. As Lamb throws it out to the right side, picked off again by Mullen. Short return there from the Mustangs, but cost a turnover. After Regis Jesuit, Mullen pays nothing for their pick, for their
points
fumble.
off turnovers is what's going to matter tonight. And 2 turnovers for the Raiders. Don't score. Same thing with Mullen. We'll see if they can score on this one.
1st and 10, Mullen from their own 34.
So 1st and 10, Mullen from the 34-yard line. How do you bounce back, especially in the throwing game, for the Raiders after 2 costly interceptions? That'll be a question we'll be asking as Mullen again tries to run up the middle.
Tuatelli
excited.
Jake Heimlicher. So it's going to be the defense tonight, Nick, that's going to drive this team because it looks like Justin's not having his best game. And for Mullen, you know, their quarterback, Remington, he's a sophomore. He's young. He can't bring the leadership that DePizzle did. So changes the outcome of the game for sure.
His offense has been stagnated so far. It's been a defensive battle as they hand it off sneakily up the middle, and again, just absolutely nothing there.
You know, you think by now they know that they can't take it in the middle, but they're going to keep going for it.
I mean, you got to stick to your game plan, stick to your team identity, I suppose.
You know, Coach Philman has so much confidence in Justin Lamb. I won't be surprised if they keep going with the passes, but it's definitely hurt this team tonight.
Remington set up in the shotgun this time. Trips right, one receiver to the left. He throws it down this left sideline. And it was tipped up by Patrick Rowe. Couldn't be hauled in. And the first deep shot of this game.
And that was a risky one. One-on-one coverage, and he was right there. Just a little bit of an overthrow, going out of bounds. Patrick Rowe, really a strong cornerback this year.
Mullen forced to punt this one away. It's a high booming kick, a little bit short though. Could touch a Raider on the way down. Does not. Those are always so risky.
Didn't look like they saw where it was going. Number 4 for the Raiders standing right there.
It's almost a smart strategy if you're a punter to just kick it high and short. Hope it hits somebody. That would be a little bold. But I'm just philosophizing over here. $8:12 to go in this first half. Regis Jesuit sneaks away after 2 turnovers. Defense really carrying this one. Still no points at all on the board. Both these teams have been rather high scoring 30-plus on average. But tonight, that is not the case. Lamb with the read option, flips it out to Martinez to the left. He cuts it up the middle, wrapped up.
Looks like Keon
Short
with a
gain.
one-handed grab right there. Justin kind of throwing it short. Now some confrontation with the other team.
You can feel the rivalry. Referee's talking something over.
Personal foul, face mask, number 74.
Face mask coming up on Mullen.
First down.
Looks like
So-
number 74
Indeed.
for the Mustangs.
So a costly mistake on the defensive end. Perhaps that'll spark some new life to this Raider offense.
Brings them almost to midfield still on their own 48-yard line, but right there, with 7:50 left to go.
Lamb out of the shotgun, flanked by Martinez to his left. Fakes the hand out to him, throws it out to the right. He's got a man open. That's Peppercorn, makes a cut up the middle. Taken down. Should be close to a first down.
Great play right there by Justin Lamb, And he hasn't been too smart in the first quarter, but now coming out, able to take his time and find his guy because we know the offensive line is going to hold that defense, so Justin has plenty of time. It's just if he can make the right decision.
That's something you got to admire in Lamb, being a young man, is being able to carry himself and bounce back after mistakes. It's something I've really admired in his game. And hands off to Martinez here.
Looked like he ran into his
Yeah,
own offense.
absolutely.
Might have found a gap, but stopped by their own offense.
1 yard lead on the play, 2nd and 9 for Regis Jesuit. Ball at the Mullen 39.
Lemon out of the shotgun, rolls out to his left, looking downfield, throws it that way. He's got a man open. And that's Jack Peppercorn again. Peppercorn and Lamb connection is on fire. And I believe, Michael, this could be incorrect just from my own eyesight, but I think that's for the first play over 10 yards. I'm not sure I've seen a single play get a first down.
No, there was an attempt by Mullen, but nothing like that. Able to find him open downfield.
So Lamb out of the shotgun. Throws it out to his right. This is Marshall Parker. Makes a cut up the middle. Wrapped down nicely. So 2nd and 3 from the 10-yard line. 6 minutes left to go in the first half. Raiders again inside of that red zone. It's always such an important spot for an offense. A good indicator, good litmus test. See how they're doing. Read option. Lamb throws across the middle. And just out of the hands of the intended receiver. That's Peppercorn on the intention.
Jack Peppercorn is really going to be a key player tonight for the Raiders. Him and Justin just had that connection where he can find him open, as well as with Aubrey Marshall Parker, who's been a great receiver this year.
Career year for both Lamb and Parker. at least in their young high school careers. Lamb out of the shotgun. Throws it out to the right. Quick hitter. And stepped out of bounds. Short of the pylon.
Looked like that might have been Aubrey Marshall Parker on that play. Who's really the backbone, receiving-wise, leading this team in receptions.
You know, something we mentioned in the pregame is that they certainly need to get Marshall Parker going, but if they can keep up this peppercorn connection, might not be such a necessity. 3rd and 3. Until a holding call is called on the Raiders.
Looks like it was Tamatuatelli on that.
So now it's a 3rd and 10 situation from the 17. This is a big 3rd down for the Raiders. It's really going to be important that they can convert. They need to score. Lamb thrown out to the left side. Stays on his feet for a moment until he is chopped down. Well short of the first down. That was Marshall Parker. So now field goal kicking unit comes on. It's going to be a 34-yarder for Pierce Thrasher. First-year kicker. Played soccer last year. And then after getting cut this year from the varsity team, he decided to move his talents onto the football field. And that kick is good.
For him to move over to football. Getting the first points on the game for the Raiders, going up 3-0 with 4:45 left to go in this second quarter.
Perfection for Thrasher as he breaks open the scoring. Still a defensive battle.
Pierce Thrasher started off kind of on a slow start, going 3 for 5, and now really bouncing back.
Shot of Padre. .445, let's go in the half. Mullen set to receive this kick. They'll get the ball in the second half too. And you know they're going to take their time on this drive coming up, as has been their norm. This kick is rather short. Been doing that strategically all year. And he is gobbled up. Short return, but decent field position. You know, we saw a fumble created off of that short, high kick. Can be so intimidating as a non-kick returner to have to take that.
Yeah, I think part of it is Coach Millman not wanting to give it to Vivens, who's probably one of the best players for the Mustangs. So not giving it to him, it's going to help that short return, and Raiders able to stop it instantly.
Absolutely. There's Reminger. Hands off to that left side. Shut down. Good play there defensively. Vivens found nothing. It's a 1 yard loss. You know, we're talking about tackles for loss. A.J. Smallwood, Jake Heimlicher, Ben Hecht, Tamatuatelli. Those guys all are in the top 20 tackles for loss. And it adds up with plays like that. Mullen. This is Reminger thrown out to the right side. Caught, cuts up the middle. Broke free of a couple of tackles till he's wrapped up. Biggest gain of the night for Mullen.
That right there for Remington. A smart play, able to find the open guy. Not trying to risk anything, but seeing that he was open and giving it to him. Gives him a huge gain.
Yeah, Remington on the year coming in. He's played 4 games, 4 touchdowns, 3 picks. Tonight he's been doing fairly decently, but it's really been the story of Vivens. Mullen will call a timeout here. Highlights. And this is picked off by Michael Bennett coming down the right side. All alone. A foot race to the pylon. He scores.
Lamb now out of the shotgun. They go quick. As soon as they set up, throw out to his left. Caught there by Marshall Parker. Great cut up the middle. And he punches it in. Touchdown, Raiders.
Justin in shotgun. Looks like Keon's to his right. Gives it to him. Keon cuts back to the right side, and he's going to run it in for a touchdown. Justin throws it over the middle to Jake Heimlicher. Jake Heimlicher breaks the tackle, gets to the 30-yard line. The 20, the 10, and a touchdown for Jake Heimlicher.
We're back here. 3:29 left to go in the first half. And Michael, something that has really been impacting me, especially, is the temperature dropping significantly. Here's the sunset over Luke Kellogg Stadium.
The only heat coming from the lights.
And they pitch it out to the left side. Vivens trying to find something. Shut down again. Outside has not been there for Vivens. Smallwood on the tackle there. A little bit short of a huddle there under the Mustangs as Remington under center. He's got 2 receivers to his left, running back in the backfield. And they hand it out to him. Shut down. Oh my goodness. There was just no gaps at all.
Regis been stopping that middle run every single time. Definitely brings energy to the sideline and the student section.
Speaking of the student section, it's really been filling up for this Raider team and as well for the Mustangs. Even coming over here to our little wasteland. Hanging out. Starting to really fill up.
I think part of it is winter tryouts are going on right now, so a lot of guys showing up late. Basketball tryouts ending at, I'm pretty sure it's around 7:30. So student section's going to be filling up. Justin Lamb's going to be playing varsity basketball as well this year.
One of the multiple dual sport athletes. Regis touts. Here's Remington throwing out to the right side over the head of his intended receiver. Interception opportunity for sure. So, looks like Mustangs will have to punt.
And that's something for Remington he's going to have to learn from is where to throw to on 3rd and 11s like that. Don't want to risk anything too much, and that's just going to come with experience. You know, didn't play in too many varsity games this year until now after the injury. So, with a minute 59 to go, Regis is going to get another chance.
High snap. Got it nicely. This one's high and deep. Marshall Parker tries to return it, but he fumbled it. The ball's loose again, and Marshall Parker somehow gobbled that up. Are you kidding me?
Aubrey hit hard.
And he was hit hard.
Field.
Got to admire his toughness there. Sticking with that ball. Flag was down for a moment. Referee's talking it over.
Aubrey, I really think that could have gone to the end zone. Didn't know how far away he was. Might have bounced to the end zone instead, tried to catch it over the shoulder. He's done that once tonight. Such a risky catch. And there was a flag thrown on the field. Picked up pretty quickly, though. We'll see if there's a call.
1:48 left to go in this first half. Again, make sure to stay tuned for the halftime festivities we got going on up here on the Raider Sports Network. Ryan Tierney and crew giving us a little analytics update. Of course, analysts from analysis, excuse me, from Michael and some of the other members. So there was a penalty called, silent interference on the Mullen sideline. They were certainly getting excited.
Not sure if that affects the play, but, you know, the call is the call, and they interfered. Flag's going to be thrown, so Regis able to get up to the 21-yard line.
Perhaps it wouldn't have mattered if Marshall Parker would have lost that ball. So instead of being down inside the 5, they're down at the 20-yard line. Raiders call a quick timeout. Oh.
Come on. You got new highlights? Yeah, that's all of them, right? Yeah. There's nothing left. I'll find some more. Play the playoff hype video.
So, Michael, talk about how Mullen's going to have to march back after a couple of momentum-gaining plays from the Raiders.
Yeah, I really think Mullen is going to have to find a way to bounce back. They're going to receive it starting off the third quarter, so coming out strong is what's going to really be key for them.
Let's send Ryan. Should I call Ryan to go get some food?
Patrick, can you go get us some food?
Patrick, we need food.
So Raiders come back onto the field after its quick timeout. Still 1:50 left to go in the second quarter.
Aubrey now lined up as a receiver.
Lamb rolls out to his left. Caught around along that left sideline by Jack Peppercorn. Adding to his statistical prowess here tonight. 7-yard gain. Ball on the 28-yard line. 1:43 as the clock stops. Plenty of time for Raiders to make a quick little half closing drive as the ball is loose. Flag on the play, but Lamb bounced on that one so quickly. A little miscommunication between him and Martinez.
That's twice tonight. Justin's lost the ball on the snap. So cold hands really affect that for sure.
Holding called on the Raiders. A lot of penalties here tonight. Really having an impact.
That holding might have saved our possession, so maybe it was worth it. As the ball came out on that play.
Second and 15 from the 16-yard line. Lamb, one running back. That's Martinez. Two wide receivers to his right, one to his left. Lamb takes a snap, hands it out to Martinez around this right side, finds a little edge, cuts it up again, makes a spin move. Bunch of flags out. Ball was loose for a moment. Players continuing to fight for the ball after the fact.
Looks like some helmet-to-helmet contact there on the hit. That might be what the flags were as they came out so fast.
Mm-hmm. Could be targeting indeed. That's an automatic ejection, I believe, in high school.
Definitely such an important call.
Mullen seems to really think it's on the Raiders as they march backwards.
We're pretty far because when we get the We have 2 fouls on the play. Holding offense.
Another holding call on the Raiders. Both those penalties coming on the Raiders. All these penalties so far for the Raiders have come from the offensive line. Holdings and the most recent one blocking the back. Ryan Tierney will bring us an update at halftime about how many penalty yardage there's been in this game. It certainly has slowed down the pace and really had an impact on both these offenses. Added to the fact that it's been a defensive battle all night. So 2nd and 23. Raiders got to at least cut this in half to have a realistic shot on 3rd down.
Definitely a sloppy game so far for both teams.
The handoff to the middle. Martinez, the ball carrier. Just not much there. 2 yards gained. Both these defensive lines have been fantastic.
You can start to see the tension building between both teams. You know, after each tackle, there's always a confrontation. So definitely something to look out for as it's only the 2nd quarter.
Absolutely. As you mentioned, in this historic rivalry, 2 religious schools.
81 years.
81 years. Timeout called by the Mustangs. Smartly, they try to get the ball back here after an impossible 3rd and 20 coming up for the Raiders.
Yeah, we had all the highlights go through. Yeah, and we had the playoff hype video to start it off.
So talk about who's going to have to really step up for both these offenses for them to be able to come effective in the 2nd half here, Michael. Oh, which players are going to have to step up on each of these offenses to be able to create more of an offensive impact on both of these sides?
I think Keon has he had a slow start. He's been having a hard time trying to find that gap, and he's been shut down very quickly. So he can start building some speed here. It looks like they might give it to him on this play.
Lamb rolls out to the left. Throws it that way. Intended for Smallwood, I believe. So 4th down coming up. And they'll be forced to punt out of their own end zone. Jack Peppercorn having a great night receiving. Decent night punting as well. Excuse me, that was intended for Cade Mendenhall on that last play. A lot of time to kick this one away. It's a high and short kick. Fair catch called for. Not necessarily a problem getting out of the way there for Mullen special teams as it was for Raiders special teams on these short high kicks. But Mullen have a minute 12 to work with unreal field position from the 40-yard line.
We've seen them drive down the field before last game in such short time, so wouldn't be surprised if they can get a field goal up here.
Absolutely.
Last minute 12.
Then that last game, they had a fantastic 2-minute drill going. Really proves to the ability of the coaching staff preparing for that situation. So they'll employ that offense here under a new quarterback, Remington, under center. Fakes the handoff, throws it deep down the middle. And incomplete, batted away nicely.
Looks like it might have been Michael Bennett.
And it looked like Michael Bennett indeed. Fantastic play. He had a pick 6 in the last week. And I'll tell you what, him alongside Patrick Rowe, oof, that is dangerous. Indeed, it was Bennett. So 2nd and 10 from the 40. Raider defensive work is still not done.
And you know, as we were saying, Remington doesn't have that experience that the coaches wanted him to have going into the playoffs. And so it's going to be hard to drive down the field when you don't have a quarterback that can make good completions and smart throws.
Remington throws it out to the left. There's a completion. Around the outside. still in balance somehow. But indeed, it's going to really lie on the shoulders of Remington to carry this offense. Something he's certainly not accustomed to doing. He's a very talented quarterback, as we've seen, but he's inclined to mistakes, as all people really are. They stack the box here, do the Raiders defense. They hand up at the middle with Vivens and shut down. Clock continues to tick. Timeout called, though.
You know, it's a big difference from the first time these two teams played each other. They scored 77 points combined. And now we're almost at halftime, and they've only scored 3. So definitely something to watch for.
It's interesting how that can totally switch the dynamic between two teams. A couple of injuries, maturity over the season. Congealing of team chemistry. But with 44 seconds left here, Michael, who should Mustangs focus on giving the ball to and giving the responsibility to here on this final drive?
I think they need to go to the run game and try to get in field goal position because the passing game is not working right now, 2nd and 9. So if they can try to get to that run game and get in field goal position, it looks like they're close right now, but definitely be helpful if they could get a little closer.
Certainly with high school kickers, like to be around the 15, 17-yard line. Of course, they certainly are capable of completing 40-yarders, as this is a toss down the sideline. Good positioning there defensively. Michael Bennett again.
Almost had the interception. Looks like it might have been pass interference on the offense, but no call.
Certainly it's tough to get a passing game going when Patrick Rowe and Michael Bennett are the two cornerbacks to lock down islands.
That's only a sophomore.
Absolutely. It's a recipe for disaster. So far, Mullen's been hanging in there. Remington out of the shotgun, flag down.
Looks like it's going to be a delay of game.
Indeed, it will be. So that'll bring up 3rd and 14. Big penalty there. Takes them out of field goal position for the most part. Certainly could try one. I think it could be the equivalent of a 60-plus yarder in the NFL. Only about 40-ish here. Remington, 2-step drop, lobs down the sideline. Patrick Rowe right there. Nearly had it. Great cornerback play. That's Mullen again tries to find the end zone. And they knew how dangerous it would have been if Mullen could have walked away into the locker room with some fantastic momentum. So instead, they'll try this field goal. And I would say, you might even look out for a fake. Could be a good opportunity. Of course, that's so rare, especially in high school, but you never know.
Coach Philman screaming timeout.
Timeout called by Philman to ice the kicker. Something interesting, speaking of icing the kicker, we saw head coach Mike McIntyre of CU Buffaloes. Of course, I myself, a big Buffalo fan, but called 2 timeouts to ice the kicker.
Yeah, really something that isn't surprising right now for the Raiders is they can't let these points be on the board right now going into this halftime.
Absolutely. Now, Michael, here's something I've been wondering. I'm not sure if there's any credence to it, but I wonder if it's almost more nerve-wracking for a kicker to have to go up there quickly, kick it away, instead of being able to have 60 seconds, think it over to yourself, calm yourself down. Of course, that's just my philosophy, but
it could just be more thinking, though, of how stressful this situation is.
Certainly depends on the personality of the kicker. And here's the lefty. Doesn't get there. Just short. Had the accuracy, but not the length. And it remains 3-0 Regis Jesuit. Now the question becomes, do they have enough time for a counter strike on this upcoming drive?
I'm not sure if Regis Jesuit is going to want to just kind of kneel the ball and let this quarter run out, or if they're going to try to score here. Justin's in shotgun, so.
Yeah, so often instead of kneeling, we see these teams run up the middle, get their team some reps. And that's what they do here, except Lamb rolls out to the left, throwing that way, breaks a couple of tackles. Clock continues to tick under 20. That's Cade Mendenhall. Excuse me, Jack Peppercorn. Excuse me, it was Mendenhall. You should trust my instincts. Clock stops for the first down. Now it's rolling again.
Regis might have a chance to get another 3 up on the board depending on how quick they play, but right now it looks like they might just let the clock run out.
They're taking their time. So they're going to take this one into halftime with a 3-0 lead. It's been a defensive battle so far. Both these teams struggling to get anything going on offense. Completely the opposite of what last game was, where the defense is really struggling to get any momentum. But that's going to do it for the first half here. And for the third quarter, we're going to hand it off to Ryan Tierney and
Walker Kurtz.
And they'll be giving some analysis for the halftime show. A little statistical update, and they'll be taking over the third quarter. So, trust me, you're in good hands. And I'll hand it over to Ryan right here.
Thank you very much, Nick. Right now it's a cold night out at Lou Kellogg Stadium. I'm here with Walker Kurtz. We're both members of the RJ Sports Analytics crew. Getting right into it with the game. One of the major themes of this game, Walker, I think we can both agree on this, is sloppiness of play.
Ball security has been a big problem for both teams. 3 turnovers each. They definitely need to pick that and get better at that in the second half.
Yeah, definitely. Turnovers. Regis and Mullen have had 5 drops each. That includes fumbles that have been recovered and not recovered and turned into turnovers. 5 drops each for Mullen and Regis. Guess slippery fingers.
I think definitely the cold can definitely have something to do with that. Definitely their hands definitely aren't as warm as they usually are, so the ball is definitely harder to hold when it's cold out like this.
Yeah, definitely. And you can definitely definitely tell this is a very charged game for Regis and Mullen. As Nick and Michael were talking earlier, it's a long-running rivalry between the Raiders and the Mustangs.
Just this early in the season, very late in the fourth quarter, Mullen scored to win the game by just a point. So I think that definitely built the emotion and rivalry for this game even more.
Yeah, and that emotion has manifested itself in turnovers. Both teams, they've been doing pretty well. They've had over 180 combined yards in terms of rushing and passing. Regis had a little more than 200. Mullen is sitting right around 200. However, the score, 3-0, Raiders are up. It doesn't really reflect that as much, and that's because of the many penalties that both teams have had.
Yeah, both teams' penalties have definitely been an issue. Like, the teams are driving the ball pretty well, but just committing penalties and committing a lot of turnovers and foolish plays that are definitely costing them.
Here's a number for that. Both teams, they have had a net, Mullen has had a net loss of 20 yards off of penalties, and Regis had a net loss of 15 yards. However, combined for penalties, there have been over 100 yards of penalty losses for both teams throughout the game, like 100 yards.
Yeah, that's something you don't see very often. Usually it's a lot lower than that.
Yeah, and that's about 15 penalties so far in the first half alone, which is very high. You can tell it's a very emotionally charged game for the players. They're very passionate, but sometimes that can lead to some different things.
That's definitely something the coaches are going to talk to the players about calming down and getting into rhythm and just making smart, safe plays with the ball to try to get some more points on the board.
Definitely a reset at this point for both teams. If the Raiders want to hold on to this lead and extend this lead, I mean 3-0, anything can happen. They're going to want to reset, calm down, secure the ball. Justin Lamb, he had a fumble and an interception in that first half. So reset, regroup, and get ready to go out there for the second half of the game.
Yep, definitely.
All right. Well, that's it for the halftime show. We have about 10 minutes until the next half. We'll be here working it for the third quarter, and stay tuned, Raiders Sports Network.
It's not locking. It's like, it's going to tip down.
That's fine.
You see it slowly tipping down. Wait, are we doing it third quarter?
we live? All right, Walker, you want to go in front of the camera? Patrick. Are we good to go?
Patrick, focus the camera on us too.
You can't do that.
Ryan, wait, why are we going in front of the
Get somebody else to. What? Here, can you get somebody to? I can't.
Where's Sam? Oh, he's out with Sean. Okay, get him to DJ. We need him here.
All right, Walker, ready?
We need someone to do the camera too.
Welcome back to the Raider Sports Network, you guys. I'm Ryan Tierney alongside Walker Kurtz, and we're going to be doing a play-by-play and color commentary for the third quarter. So we have about 20 seconds left until the players begin warming up and come back from the locker rooms. So far, Walker, what are your impressions on this game?
This game has been, the emotions have been very high and the tension has been very high on and off the field. There's been a lot of mistakes and a lot of sloppy play, but I hope that the players will shape it up for the next half of play.
Definitely. We hope that all the players are staying warm out there. One of the big themes in terms of sloppy play last quarter is dropped balls and turnovers off of passes, off of fumbles. Definitely.
I think a lot of that has to do with the weather. When it's so cold, it's hard to grip the ball because the ball feels hard and it sometimes hurts your fingers when it's coming in that fast. So I think that has a lot to do with all the drops.
Definitely, and also charged mentality going into this, coming off of a very, as stated earlier, very charged game before. So hopefully Raiders can pull this off. What are your predictions for the second half?
I still expect, I hope it doesn't happen, but I still expect to see a lot of drop balls because of the weather. But I do hope that we see some more points scored, and I hope we see some more offensive power than we did in the first half.
Who's winning tonight?
I'm going to have to go with Regis just because they have the home field advantage. It's a playoff game, and it's their crowd on their back and giving them the momentum.
I'd have to agree with you there. Obviously, though, going into the second half, they're coming back from the locker room. Both teams had a sloppy first half, but having the chance to regroup, that can create different teams going into the second half. We've seen it before. Teams change their play style. Mullen, in the first half, they were a very run-oriented offense. About 80% of their plays were run plays. Regis, they favored the run, but not as much. They had about 62% of their plays being rushes. So if we can see...
I look for that heavy leaning on the run to continue just because of how cold it is, and I think they are going to trust the ball on the ground more than the air because of those interceptions that they had in the first half.
Yeah, also another one of their features of the Mullen team, halfway through the season, Mullen's star quarterback, he's a senior, he got injured, which is unfortunate. So they have a younger quarterback coming in. And a little inexperienced, threw a few interceptions. So they've been relying on the run game heavily this season as well as tonight. And I think we can definitely continue to see that. We'll see what the Raiders do in terms of their play style.
Yeah, I think that's all the time we got for right now. Half starts in about 10 seconds, so let's get back to the action.
All right. Sounds good.
So since we don't have our color guys back, who wants to do color with me?
Oh, you're fine. Sure.
Yeah, because we don't have them back yet. All right, Walker. All right, here, we need some. Here, Patrick, you want to do the camera?
You want to trade off color? Yeah, I can do it. Okay.
All right. You got the camera? All right, cool. No. Here, Patrick. Oh, here.
Are you doing color?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do this too. It's just as easy.
All right.
I did it like.
All right, here. Do you want to do him?
Regis will take off and defend the north goal. Mullen will receive and defend the south.
All right. And this is Earl Stevens signing on for Raiders Horse Network.
This is Walker Kurtz. We're going to be play-by-play for the second half, and the Raiders are currently lining up to kick off to the Mullen Mustangs for the start of the second half.
And yeah, we just had a great halftime commentary by Ryan Tierney and Walker Kurtz, who actually is joining me right now. So we hope to see some of the different things that they're talking about happen in the second half of play.
The interesting first kick, it was definitely a very low kind of skid kick, and we definitely got good field position on that. Our field coverage is very good.
And defense obviously riled up there as a beautiful hit was just laid by our Regis Jesuit defense.
And defense has always been a big factor in this game. Only 3 points scored in the first half. Part of that due to the turnovers and the penalties. But defense has definitely been a big part of both teams' play so far.
And definitely, so as we get ready for the snap here, we can see that Mullen's in the I formation and went straight up the middle.
They're sticking to the run game just like was expected, and just like the 80% of their plays were in the first half.
Definitely.
Powell came to play second and 6 for the Mustangs. Ball out to 27.
Currently 2nd and 6, ball on the 27-yard line. Mullen Mustangs have the ball.
And a pass and a athletic catch there by number 26 of Mullen. A couple yards gained on that play.
Pass is complete to Ward, good for Mullen, first down. First and Mustangs from their own
35.
Looks like Hemmington under center. Hands it off to Vivens. Vivens can take it up and stopped instantly up the middle. And Earl, as we were saying, this whole game, it's really been a problem for Mullen to try to run it up the middle. We've seen it as more of a setback for them trying to take it up the middle because we know it works. Running to the outside, it's been working the whole game. So for Mullen to keep trying to take it up the middle, it's really not helping them.
And yeah, definitely, Michael. And the same thing has been happening with the Regis offense. That we've been trying the same formation every time running up the middle, and we're just getting nowhere with it. So both teams really need to amp up their offensive line run blocking to try to get more yards rushing.
For sure, another stop there by the Raiders. And a first down, though, for the Mustangs on the 47-yard line. Still a 3-0 game. Nothing that we were expecting. We were expecting points on the board throughout this whole game, but no, just a field goal is what's up right now. Looks like it's going to be a false start.
Yeah, looks looks like number 82 of the offense jumped early.
And it was indeed 5 yards back for the Mustangs. 1st and 15 now, with 10:07 left to go.
And so right now is where they need to start playing their best football, both teams. This is anyone's game, so 3 points is nothing in the game of football. So we need to come out strong, both teams, and really just play their hearts out, because this is the decisive game. Both teams can move on to the second round of the playoff and get up to those higher levels of competition. But right now, we're not seeing the hustle that we've normally seen from these two teams.
And Hamilton's going to keep it. Throws long and almost picked off by Michael Bennett. Goes off the chest of a Mustang and down to the field. And as we were saying, Hemington on that play, you know, trying to go long down the field. Couldn't find anyone open, but risked the pass to number 29 for the Mustangs. Goes off his chest. Looks like it should have been caught, but it's not. And it puts the Mustangs down to 2nd and 15.
And the Raiders have been really great on the pass interception and just trying to knock up anything that they can within the game. So it's been really great to just see some nice fullbacks and linebackers with also wide back just really breaking up passes. Oh, and the Raiders get a sack.
Looks like that might have been. Still not sure who it was.
I think it was Remington, but I'm not 100% sure.
So Remington taken down in the backfield. No loss on that play. 3rd and 15 on the 42-yard line. Remington in shotgun. A jump by the Raider defense. Jake Heimlicher.
So it's actually been quite a jumpy game. It's out here, they're cold, muscles tensing up, and everyone's really just kind of jumping at the ball.
So now from 3rd to 15, they're going to be at 3rd and 10. So big difference right now for the Raiders. Something that they didn't want to happen, but it's hard to have a perfect game. 9:28 left to go. Remington still in shotgun. Vivens to his right. Throws it over the middle to no man's land. Pass was intended for number 89, but sailed it over his head and brings us down to 4th and 10 on the 47-yard line. So Mullen Mustangs forced to punt on their first drive this quarter.
And as the Raiders regain possession on this kickoff, they'll need to come out hot with their offense and really get a strong
kick.
Run ball.
Looks like it's going to bounce out of bounds, and it does. No, it stays in. Right around the 24-yard line. So Regis Jesuit Raiders coming out to the 24-yard line. Up 3-0. Excuse me, the 24-yard line. 9 minutes and 14 seconds left to go. Justin Lamb rolls to his left, throws it over the middle, finds Aubrey Marshall Parker. Pass is going to be complete for a first down. And some. Aubrey catching it over the middle and getting a few more yards after that. As we've said before, one of the best receivers in this game right now. Justin Lamb in shotgun. Keon to his left. Throws to the left side. Looks like Cade Mendenhall. Cuts back and does a little shimmy to get a few more yards. Ball now at the 39-yard line. 2nd and 1 for the Raiders. 8:43 left to go. Justin in shotgun again. Keon to his right. He's going to give to Keon. Keon's going to cut to the right side, and he'll get the first down. Keon, one of the strongest running backs in 5A football this year. 1 touchdown away from breaking the school record of touchdowns in a season. At 21 right now. School record's 21, so he's tied with it. Ball now on the 49-yard line. Raiders getting ready to cross midfield. 8:20 left to go. Justin in shotgun again. 3 receivers to his right. And he's going to find Aubrey on the right side, but stopped right away. Looks like it might be behind the line of scrimmage.
And a 2-yard loss on that pass to Aubrey. Damian Kroons with the tackle.
They really love this formation. Justin shotgun and Keon either to his left or right. 2 receivers out to the right side. 1 to his left, and that's where he's going to go. Aubrey Marshall Parker tries to juke around a receiver, but gets tripped up. Makes it 3rd and 9 for the Raiders. 7:05 left to go. Ball on the 48-yard line. Justin really trying to move the chains here on this play. 6:55 left to go, 48-yard line. 3 receivers spread out to his right side. Justin rolls to the right. Almost gets taken down, but breaks the tackle. He's going to take it himself.
Scrambling out.
Scrambles out, does a spin, and now looks like he might have enough for the first down. We'll see where they mark it.
And that right there is just football smarts. He used his instinct as a football player to just really move through that defense and find a hole to get that play and make the first down.
And Justin, this year his friend has really been his feet, as he's been able to move around so easily. And just right there on that play, the smart. Gets it all the way up to 4th and 1. Looks like 4 tackles. And so all around good athlete. As we know, he's on varsity basketball as well. And that's more of his main sport. So Justin, a great athlete. Looks like they're going to go for it here on 4th and 1. Looks like it'll be a smart play because the Raiders need to score here. But first they're going to talk it over with a timeout. So Regis will take a timeout. And Earl, what have you seen so far at the start of this 3rd quarter that's different from the first half?
So different from the first half, I've just seen more of a sense of passing the ball. There's been a lot more attempts at getting the receivers out there, running some cross routes, just really trying to get the ball down the field deeper into the red zone. And really, it's not been successful for both teams, as their run game is what's really keeping them in it right now.
Yeah, Regis really needs to take control of this game now. They have to get some separation between them and the Mustangs. You don't want this game to stay close because, Earl, anything can happen. And so if they can really find a way to take control, it'll definitely help them in the outcome of this game.
Yeah, and definitely, Michael. So as the teams take the field again, we also have Keon in the backfield, as we have for every single play pretty much. And so he really has to have a strong offensive line here to really get this play going.
Keon's going to take it up the middle, and he has enough for the first down. And some more. after breaking a few tackles, able to get the first down, and looks like maybe another 4 yards after that.
And it looks like we have an injured player on the field for the Mustangs.
The Mustangs, looks like they have a man down. And Earl, that right there is Coach Philman trusting his instincts. He knew he could give it to Keon, and Keon would find a way to get that first down, and he did right there. And then breaking a tackle and getting more. Getting all the way up to the 27-yard line. So Regis, with 5:54 left to go. 1st and 10 on the 27, up 3-0.
And so as we just have this injury right now, I'll take the time to talk about what both teams really need to do to amp up their performance in this game. On the Regis side, we really need to get some of our slant routes going and just really get our receivers into the end zone where we know we can score points. On the other hand, the Mustangs, they have the receivers and they have the capability to catch balls. We've seen the ball's been flung 20 yards, but the Regis defense has broken it up. So if we can get a stop fake or something along the lines of that, Mullen can really kind of dig into this Regis lead.
Regis now getting a lot more time to talk over what they want to do now that they're on the 27-yard line. So the goal is to score a touchdown here and take control of this game. As we were saying, that's really what's going to come down to, is who has control of this game, who can have the longer time of possession without having to worry about scoring. And that would be Regis if they can score here.
Exactly, get a little bit of a cushion, just have a little bit of more time to relax. Know that you're up a little bit, you can make some more plays, really execute great football, what they have been trying to do all night.
And the Mustang injured player able to get up, walk off the field on his own, which is always a good sign. 1st and 10 for the Raiders on the 27. Justin in shotgun. He's going to give it to Keon. Keon's going to cut to the right side, breaks a tackle and cuts even more to the right side. Goes down the sideline and looks like he gets a gain of around 7 yards. Keon Martinez, a really smart player, able to break tackles and then find the gap. That's what he did right there. Taking it from the 27-yard line and getting to looks like this 18-yard line.
And again, Michael, that just goes back to the true football player instinct. Keon weaves through the defense like they're not there, and it really makes him look kind of foolish out there. So kudos to him.
Justin flips it off to Keon on the left side. Keon's going to have some room to run. Takes it up the sideline and gets stopped short of the end zone, maybe 8 yards out. Another great run by Keon. Excuse me, looks like it's only a 5-yard gain on that play, but looked like a lot more. But I guess due to the pitch, brings them backfield, and then they got to go up.
Yep.
But it brings us to another first down. 1st and 10 on the 14. Regis really pushing the ball fast. Justin now in shotgun. He's going to hand it up the middle, but stopped instantly. And taking it up the middle for both teams hasn't worked all game. The Mustangs able to stop them, and now the Raiders able to stop them. Keep in mind the Regis play is going on tonight. So a full campus here.
Really just brings a lot of energy to have a lot of different activities going on at the same time. But back to the game. Shotgun.
Justin is going to throw it. Goes over the middle and is tipped by a Mullen Mustang. A risky pass there, but goes down. Now Regis really taking their time getting the call from the sideline. We're trying to score here on the 13-yard line. 3rd and 9 with 4:23 left to go in the third quarter. Justin and shotgun. Rolls out to the right side. He's going to lob it down to the right side of the end zone, and it goes out of bounds off the chest of what looks like Jack Peppercorn. Excuse me, that was for Aubrey Marshall Parker.
I'm sorry. I waited in line for 7 minutes. Tell me that.
Now Regis is going to opt to kick. And it goes right through the uprights. No. Looks like it's wide right. Looks like it was through, but guess we don't have the best angle, so that kick is missed, and the Mustangs are going to have the ball at the 13-yard line.
And that's always tough for kickers coming out in a close game like this. Pressure's always on them to deliver and have a consistent kick. But all the power to them. And so run play here, flag down. And so we'll see what the call is here after the officials get through. You can talk, I've got it.
I know, that's what my dad texted me. Just gotta pretend they can. 'Cause I'm not talking about So it looks like there's a penalty for illegal formation, but they're gonna call it off. Mullen at the 20-yard line. 2nd and 10 now. 4 minutes left to go. Mullen taking their time in the huddle. Hemington under center. One receiver to his right, one to his left. Looks like it's going to be a false start on the Mustangs. And Earl, we've seen this whole game. Multiple flags on every play. So definitely a sloppy game.
Definitely, Michael.
Something different from the first game as well as, remember, both teams with a combined total of 77 points. And now, coming to the end of the third quarter, it's only 3-0. Definitely a huge change in this game. So now it'll be 2nd and 15 for the Mullen Mustangs. 3:49 left to go. Hemington under center.
And 25th penalty of the game, and now 26th as we have another flag thrown by the official. So this game is really getting out here to be kind of chippy, as both teams are on edge as they really want to move out through these playoff rounds.
It's really crazy seeing all these flags, in such an important game, that they're just going to kind of let it slip out of their hands with penalties. And now an illegal formation by the offense, which is going to set the Mustangs even back further. Something they can't figure out right now. And, the Mullen Mustangs have really been trusting Vivens this half as their quarterback, just a sophomore, the backup, because DePizzle was hurt, they've really just trusted the run game and haven't really given a chance to Remington tonight, which has been a small setback for the Mustangs, not able to have a passing game. And now as Mullen takes their time to get to the line of scrimmage, they finally break their huddle with 3:25 left to go in the third quarter. Play clock winding down. Remington under center. He's going to throw the ball to the right side. Covered. And the ball goes out of bounds. Great cover there by what looks like Michael Bennett.
And now we have our 27th penalty of the game. Again, these boys are really out here getting chippy. They just want to really advance through their playoff slot and really get to what the prize is, the light at the end of the tunnel, which is that championship thing. And so both teams out here really giving it their all, as we still have such a narrow score, 3-0. And we'll see what the call is and see how both teams can really try to pull through this really close game.
And Earl, another illegal formation by the Mullen Mustangs, not able to figure out what they're trying to do here. And that's really hurting them right now. Regis is going to decline the penalty, though, so they don't have another chance at second down. It's going to move it to 3rd and 20. And so the Mustangs really need to figure out their offense, and they need to stop these illegal formations.
Third and 20. Mustangs have the ball.
Mustangs now 3rd and 20 on their own 10-yard line. 3:15 left to go. He's going to roll out to the right side and take it up the sideline. Room to run. Not sure if it's enough for the first down. But a huge gain for the Mustangs on a 3rd and 20. They go to the run game. And Earl, as we were saying, they trust Vivens a lot more than they've been trusting Remington tonight. It'll be 4th down. And we'll see where they spot the ball. They spot it on the 25-yard line. So, puts them now to 4th and 5 with 3:07 left to go. And now punt formation for Mullen. The punt looks like it might have had a finger on it. And Aubrey, fair caught. Looks like the 45-yard line. 3 minutes now left to go. In the 3rd quarter, Regis will have the ball. Looks like it'll be right around the 47-yard line.
Hello? Yeah. Earl, the mic's weird. The mic's kind of messed up right now. Not sure. It's been like an all game though. Right. The other mic's been bad all game. No, the one that I was on. And it was hard to hear me too.
And reception by the Regis offense. Weaving through a few tackles, trying to get the first down.
It's just not going up high. I'll turn up this mic though.
And
Okay.
it'll be 2nd and 5 after a 5-yard gain by the Regis offense.
Now with 2:54 left to go, Regis set up on the 48-yard line. 2nd and 5. Regis trying to score and get across this 50-yard line. Justin in shotgun. He's going to give it to Keon Martinez. No, he keeps it. Rolls out to the right side and tries to give it to Cade Mendenhall, but throws it into the ground. So now 3rd and 5 for the Regis Raiders. 2:48 left to go. Regis again. Both teams taking their time right now. All comes down to time of possession, and both teams doing a great job of slowing down their offense, setting it up. 2 receivers out to the right for Justin Lamb, 1 to his left. Justin's going to throw it to the left side, finds Aubrey Marshall Parker. Aubrey tries to take it up the sideline, but stopped by 2 Mustangs before going anywhere. Could be enough for the first down, maybe just a few yards. It'd be 4th and 2. So a few yards short. We'll see what Coach Philman decides to do here with 2:41 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Wouldn't be surprised if they go for it again. Went for it last time. Keon Martinez able to get 7 yards. So that'd be enough right here for a first down. Earl, what do you think they're going to do?
I think they're going to give the ball to Keon Martinez. He's been really solid with these 4th down conversions. And really just a solid player overall with his football intelligence. So definitely looking forward to seeing what they're going to do on this play here.
And Justin's going to hold on to it. And no, it's a fake, and he punts it. And a great kick by Justin Lamb inside the 5-yard line. Something that we talked about in the pregame show. Did not think it was going to happen there. Justin Lamb kicks it out of shotgun formation. And it's a beautiful kick inside the 5-yard line. Excuse me, it's on the 5-yard line. So catches Mullen off guard with a kick from the quarterback.
Definitely a kicker, a punter, and a leader. He can do it all. He has the skill set to really command respect on the field out there.
So now the Mustangs on the 6-yard line. 1st and 10. It's going to be really hard for them to get out of this position and drive down the field. Remington under center. Hands it off to Vivens. Vivens takes it up the middle. And brought down by 3 Regis Raiders. Small gain. It'll bring it to 2nd and 8. Earl, not a big gain for the Mullen Mustangs there.
Yeah, not a big gain at all, Michael. They really haven't had a run game tonight, just like the Raiders. It's more been just these really lucky chance plays that they've really gotten yards out of. So we're still looking to see a developed running game from both teams.
Now, Remington hands it off to Vivens again. Vivens stopped instantly by the Regis defensive line, and we've seen all night that they've just been trusting Vivens and not letting Remington throw the ball. Third and 6 now with 1:30 left to go. Clock winding down as Mullen takes their time.
And we're still really waiting for just a big bust-out play where one team takes a lead and the other team has to fire up again and try to catch back up.
Looks like it might be a jump on the Mustangs, and it for sure is, which is going to set them back even further. Looks like it'll bring it to 3rd and 11.
And yeah, so we have a new record for the Regis Field, a record of 30 penalties actually thrown in one game. So that is really crazy how chippy it's gotten within the game. And it's just a really big rivalry between the two teams. And it really shows the passion and determination they have when just playing each other.
And now, Vivens to the right side. Cuts back, up the middle. Won't be enough for the first down, but a big gain for Vivens. Now 4th and 1. Mullen to punt the ball. Aubrey Marshall Parker back to receive. He calls another fair catch at the 50-yard line. So this whole night has been a fair catch from Aubrey Marshall Parker. One was fumbled, but recovered by himself. "20 seconds left to go on the game clock in the 3rd quarter.
And so as this quarter comes to an end, we really reached the 4th quarter, which is the time to show what kind of football team you are. The team that has the endurance for these long, cold games, or the team that kind of crumbles under pressure and really gives up. So we're going to see what the Raiders and the Mustangs can really do to improve their performance of play.
Justin throws to the left side, finds Aubrey Marshall Parker. Aubrey breaks a tackle and gets more on the sideline. Looks like a gain of about 4 or 5.
I've been outvoted 5-1. I'm going to have to leave after this quarter. Put the veto it. Veto.
2nd and 2 on the 40-yard line. 14 seconds left to go. Regis marching down the field, just pounding the Mullen defense.
And the Raiders really looking to just run out this quarter to get into their fourth quarter flow.
Justin tries to throw it down the sideline to Aubrey. Unable to get a reception, but a deep pass. Now 10 seconds left to go in the third quarter. 3rd and 2. Wouldn't be surprised if they run it just to get the first down. Regis student section really has grown since the first quarter. Brings a lot more energy to this stadium. Justin's going to hand it to Keon. Keon cuts up the middle, breaks the tackle, and gets more. No one's taken him down yet until a huge gain. A huge first down for the Regis Raiders. And that'll bring us to the end of the third quarter. They'll be on the 25-yard line at the start of the fourth quarter. 3-0 Regis up over the Mullen Mustangs. This is the CHSAA 5A playoffs, round 1. We're going to take a break on the Raider Sports Network.
You want me to do any play-by-play or anything, or I think I might. No, I don't need to go, but I get it. I'm gonna head down the path, and I'll be here for cleanup.
So, Mr. Buckets, the same with the last game. We can't hear him talking. I can't hear him.
You sound great.
Yeah. That mic. And you couldn't hear Nick in the pregame show either. Probably get them fixed now.
You keep doing your thing.
Now we're back on the Raider Sports Network. Regis up 3-0 going into the fourth quarter, which is a huge surprise after the Mullen Mustangs and the Regis Raiders combined last game, 77 points. And now only 3 going into the fourth quarter.
And last time these teams met, one of the greatest games in Colorado high school football history, Michael, we are setting ourselves up for a fourth quarter that will be, legendary, right? 3-0, Raiders lead.
Yeah, it'll be huge for the Raiders if they can score here, give them some type of lead that's not just a little bit more than 3. Justin's going to keep it, roll to the right side. Throws it to the right side, finds Aubrey. If he stayed in bounds, it's a beautiful catch. And he does, right at the 11-yard line. Another first down for the Raiders. A great play by Aubrey. Able to catch that ball. And stay in bounds. Holds his feet in and before falling out. Aubrey, one of the best receivers on this team. 11:53 now, left to go in the fourth quarter. Justin is going to give it to Keon. Keon's going to try to find a way to get into the end zone. And he gets to the 4-yard line, but flags fly before anything continues. We'll see what the call is. Great run by Martinez, able to get to the outside and take it up the sideline. So the ball's going to be moved back. Looks like it'll be set past maybe around the 18-yard line. And it is. So 1st and 17 on the 18-yard line. Justin hands it to Keon. Keon gets to the left side and has some room to run. Cuts back and is brought down right around the 14-yard line. Great play by there. Oh.
It'll be 2nd and 17 to go for the Raiders. 11:24 and counting down. 2nd and 13. Check that for the Raiders. 11 and 18 counting down in the fourth quarter. 3-0 Raiders. Offense looking over to the sideline for the play.
Justin in the same formation in shotgun. He's going to keep it, throw it over the middle, finds Jake Heimlicher, and he's going to take it in for the touchdown. Breaks the tackle and takes it into the end zone. Raiders go up 9-0 with 10:55 left to go in the fourth quarter. And that right there, Mr. Dawkins, puts a little bit more of a lead on the board for the Raiders.
Excellent pass over the middle. On second down. Great play call by the Raiders. 10:55 remaining in the fourth quarter. Raiders up 9-0 on the Mullen Mustangs with the extra point pending.
And it's through for Pierce Thrasher. 10-0 with 10:55 left to go in the fourth quarter. Justin able to find Jake Heimlicher over the middle. He breaks a tackle and then takes it 5 more yards for the end zone. Earl, that right there. A well thought out play by Justin, able to have time in the pocket. Finds Jake Heimlicher. What are your thoughts?
Just pure football. They have the mentality now in the fourth quarter, really mental toughness that they need to get through a game like this and really just push through and get the edge over the other team. And this is what they need to keep continuing to do in the fourth quarter, as they have sparked a little bit of a lead here, 10-0 against the Mustangs. So we'll see how things play out for the rest of this game.
Yeah, definitely a huge momentum change there. Such a small lead, and now turns out to be 10-0. A great drive by the Raiders.
And as we get ready for the kickoff here, Mullen's ready in the backfield and waiting to kick off. And they squib down the left side of the field.
And they pick it up right around the 13-yard line. Take it out to the right side. And taken down by Tama Tuatelli right around the 24-yard line.
And just a special thanks to all the parents and volunteers really helping out here tonight, making this game such a wonderful place for everyone to enjoy. So this game would be nothing without them, so thank you guys so much.
And Coach Philman let us know that his family actually listens to every game from Arizona, which is great to hear. So definitely a good call for him tonight on that last touchdown. Now, Remington in shotgun. Looks to his left. Finds a guy open, but brought down instantly by the Raider defense. Jake Heimlicher almost had another sack there. Now again, in shotgun. Passing game. Lobs to the right side of the field. Great coverage by Michael Bennett, and it's caught by the Mustangs. Tipped off of Michael Bennett's fingertips, and then brought down by the Mustangs, number 4.
And this is what I was talking about, Michael. Teams get fired up in this fourth quarter, and they really just start making miracle plays happen, just like we saw right now. So just both teams really need to start amping up their engines, firing it up to see who really wants it more.
And now right there, a lot of energy brought out for the Mustangs after that beautiful reception. Remington now under center. Looks like they'll go to the run game. Hands it off. Stopped instantly as it's tried to be taken up the middle.
And we also have a quick update on another playoff game. Columbine is blowing their opponent out of the water, 34-0 right now. And the other team is showing no signs of coming back. So that was just a quick update on what's happening in the other playoff rounds right now in Colorado.
So as of right now, the winner would play Columbine in the next round, who's ranked 3 in the state. So a tough matchup. We know the Mustangs lost to them earlier in the season. Now 2nd and 7 on the 34-yard line. Mullen moving the ball fast up the field. Plenty of time in the pocket. Throws to the right side. It's going to overthrow his man. Great coverage by Patrick Rowe. Looking for the flag, the whole sideline, but nothing called.
And we have a Mullen player hurt next to the Regis student section. He's hobbling off the field. Hope he's all right. And the Mullen crowd really showing disgust in their officiating as they don't agree with the call that was on the last play.
Now with 8:49 left to go in this fourth quarter, timeout will be called.
And Michael, we are looking at a heck of a night in high school football in Colorado. Creek right now is only up by a touchdown over Ralston Valley. That's the fourth quarter. That's live right now. Columbine handily over Highlands Ranch. 45-13 in the fourth quarter, so we're looking at if Regis Jesuit pursues a victory here, up 10-0 in the fourth quarter with about 8 minutes and change remaining, facing Columbine. But then that other game right now up for grabs. And Creek this year, if we win this game, Manoogian, we're looking at a Columbine matchup.
And that'd be at Columbine instead of the higher seed.
Oh, I did not know that.
Columbine, number 3 in the state. And they beat Mullen.
And we will be on the road for sure, Raider Sports Network, to bring you that game live.
And now both teams get back up in position. 8:49 left to go. Regis up 10-0. Mustangs on the 34-yard line, 3rd and 7. They need a first down here. And a flag's thrown. Looks like the ball is going to be moved in favor of the Mustangs.
And a little bit of banter between the officials and the players, trying to sort out the flag that was just thrown.
And now the ball is going to be moved up. Looks like it'll be 3rd and 2. Unless it was something else.
Personal foul.
Unclear what the call was. Hard to hear from here. So it's not an offsides, we know that for sure. So the call is going to be unsportsmanlike conduct. Now Remington hands it off. They're going to try to take it up the middle. Cuts around to the outside, but taken down by the Raiders. Looks like he had room to run, but stopped before he could get up the sideline. And so, Earl, as we were saying, the unsportsmanlike conduct, the late hit, and some other calls that was a mistake for the Raiders that shouldn't have happened has really affected this game, as the Mustangs are now on the 16-yard line and looks like they're ready to score here. 2nd and 7 with 8:42 left to go.
And definitely, they have that hunger for a touchdown. They really need to get this game closer than they want it to be. They want to at least try to edge up and get a lead on Regis.
Remington pitches out to the left side. Room to run. Cuts back to the middle. A spin move. And he's in for the touchdown. Touchdown for the Mullen Mustangs as they get their first points up on the board with 8:34 left to go in the fourth quarter. So really a surprise this late in the game. Mullen finally gets points on the board, and now a flag is thrown.
And this flag could repent this touchdown, Michael. This could cancel the touchdown.
And the Regis student section is getting pretty hyped up, as well as the Regis players.
And now we have multiple
So
flags.
Vivens takes it into the end zone. But now with multiple flags on the play, Regis student section chanting, "You can't do that." We'll see what the call comes down to.
And another unsportsmanlike penalty.
So here's what happened on that play. There was a holding on the Mustangs. And then on top of that, after the touchdown, looks like Vivens might have had an excessive celebration, and they call unsportsmanlike conduct, and they move way down the field, going from the 16-yard line all the way up what looks like past the 40. So the holding call moves them back, as well as the unsportsmanlike conduct on the Mustangs. Definitely a huge disappointment there, but don't be surprised if you see the Mustangs go back down the field. Now Remington in shotgun on the 2nd and 7.
And number 16 has jumped the line on the Mustangs, it appears.
Might have been on the Raiders, as it looks like they move back. Encroachment on Jake Heimlicher. So even the best in the state make mistakes. Number 1 leading right now in sacks, and it's counting as he has 2 on the night.
And so Mullen inching ever closer to trying to regain what was taken away from them. Such a precious touchdown in such a close game that can really make or break a team right now.
So now 2nd and 21 on the 30-yard line. 8:34 left to go. Remington in shotgun. Plenty of time in the pocket. Gets under pressure, and there's Jake Heimlicher. Jake Heimlicher takes him down, but Remington able to pitch it off.
And that appeared to me, Michael, if it was a forward lateral, because the quarterback flung the ball forward to the receiver, but
it's called a pass.
but the officials say it's all clean. So
it looked like there Jake Heimlicher was going to be able to take down Remington, but right as he was going down, Remington making a smart play and flipping the ball off to the right side, and a huge gain for the Mustangs. Gets it down to 3rd and 13 on the 22-yard line. So Mullen looking for the first down here.
And the Regis crowd really getting fired up here, trying to make the Mullen defense mess up. The Mullen offense mess up in any way they possibly can.
Now Remington in shotgun. In the pocket. Throws deep to the left side. Looks like it's going right to a Raider. Tips off his fingertips and goes down. So with that, brings us down to 4th and 13 with 7:32 left to go. Now 7:32 left to go. 4th and 13, and Mullen looks like they're going to bring out their special teams unit. Now, Earl, if this is Coach Philman, I really do believe he would try to get the first down here, especially in such a tight game right now. 10-0, 7:32 left to go. But if you recall last game, Mullen scored 26 points in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and that's just not the case here, though, Michael.
And the kick is tipped. It looks like it might be going through, and it does. Look like it was tipped.
Mullen has just got back in this game. All they have to do is score a touchdown, and it's anyone's game from here. We could possibly see an overtime coming up, or just anything. Anything can happen now.
So looks like right there, a little summary of that last drive. Mullen scores, but it's brought back because of a hold, and then brought back even further because of an unsportsmanlike conduct. And then they drive back down to the 22-yard line for a field goal, which goes through, makes it 10-3. Raiders are still up.
And And both teams right now, we could possibly see an onside kick to just regain possession here in such a close game. And possession is crucial right now. And it looks like we have Hands team out. We have a few receivers out, but you never know what can happen.
I'll be there. You already know. Also, Jake Hunter is
And it appears to be an onside kick. Oh.
Instead, no, they go deep. Received by Aubrey Marshall Parker. Finds a gap, takes it up the middle, and he breaks the tackle.
Go.
Gets to the 40-yard line. The 30, the 20, the 10, and Aubrey Marshall Parker. No, it's Keon Martinez on the touchdown. Keon hyped up, returns a kickoff for a touchdown. Keon Martinez hyped up down there. Looked like it was Aubrey, but no, it's Keon.
And this is a crowd booster, Michael. The Regis fans have really gotten fired up. Their team has just scored in a crucial game. This is crushing the other team's spirit. They're really getting out there now and trying to do anything possible that they can to score more points.
And now, with that 16-3, a beautiful run by Keon. And that right there breaks the school record for most touchdowns in a season with 22. So one of the best players to come through this school. Puts it up 16-3. And now it's 17-3 with 7:16 left to go. Keon Martinez breaking a tackle and then coming down the sideline for the touchdown on the kick. Well played there for Keon Martinez. And Earl, there's nothing like him. He's one of the best to come through this game.
Definitely, Michael. One of the best I've ever seen in high school ball. And I've only been watching for 2 years, but I've experienced Regis games for many, many years. And Keon Martinez is one of the best running backs I've ever seen in my entire watching career. Literally, such a shifty, yet fast and intelligent player. He's really such a threat to defenses and such a gift to have as a Regis offense. $7:16 left to go. Raiders line up for the kickoff.
Don't be surprised if you see the short kick here, not wanting a big return. And they switch their formation during the kick. Pierce Thrasher kicks to the right side, and it goes out of bounds. And that brings the Mustangs up to the 35-yard line with 7:16 left to go in the fourth quarter.
And they flag down on the play. Looks like it will be on the punt because of a out of bounds bounce. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at the 35.
Michael!
Now's really the time for teams to get fired up late in these fourth quarters. The Mustangs are looking for a comeback. They need at least 2 touchdowns to get back into this game. And right now, things are not looking good for them. They have late men coming onto the field. Looks like we could have a possible penalty here.
Just do a voiceover.
Now, Remington shotgun. Vivens to his right. 7:16 left to go. Hands it off, taken up the middle, but stopped right away by the Raider defense. And this whole game, we haven't seen anything brought up the middle for more than a 5-yard gain. The Mustangs have only had huge yardage by going to the outside, and from now on, I think that's what they're going to do is no gain on that play. So the goal for the Mustangs is to get outside and have room to run on the sideline.
And definitely, Michael, what would work here in this situation for the Mustangs would be a screen pass or a really nice ISO run. But we see a pass here and a reception caught by the Mustangs. That's number 4.
And Remington, you know, we talked about at the beginning of this game, he didn't have much experience. He was on JV. And then when he comes up to varsity for the playoffs, really a huge change, something the coaches weren't expecting, but shows up tonight. First pass was intercepted. but then bounces back, doesn't let it affect him, and has a completion right there.
And definitely, just being such a young guy on a varsity team, he's trying to command respect, and really is just trying to do a best job he can by being such a young player. He may not have the experience level that the varsity quarterback had, but he is certainly doing an exceptional job for such a game that we've had tonight. And timeout here by Mullen. 6:21 left to go in the game. First and 10.
And now 6:21 left to go. This will be huge for the Mustangs if they can drive down the field. Really, they're going to take the trust out of the run game and put it into Hemington. Try to get these passes. Remember, Hemington's just a sophomore. Second year of high school football, and he's playing in a 5A playoff game. How do you think it feels for him, Earl?
The pressure is on. He is trying to do a best job he can for his team, and the coaches are all watching him. He's trying to see what he can do to spark a little bit of light in this Mullen offense. If they can just get a big break play where he can showcase his talent with his arm, we really can see something big happen here in this game.
Now, looks like it might be a delay of game, or it could be a timeout. We'll see which came first. And it was a Mullen Mustang timeout. No, it's encroachment on the Raiders. So the Mustangs move up, 1st and 5, and they're going to cross midfield here, 50-yard line. 6:21 left to go, and as we were talking about Remington right here, you know, remember last game, they scored 26 in this last quarter, and now the trust is in Remington. Another whistle blown. We'll see what the call is this time. And they're going to reset the clock now to 6:21. Remington in shotgun. Vivens to his left. Remington throws deep to the left side of the field, but overthrows his receiver and it goes out of bounds. So that'll bring us now to 2nd and 5. They'll stay on the 50-yard line.
Oh, and there's a flag on the play, actually, Michael.
And they're walking backwards, so it's on the Mustangs. Holding on the Mustangs. Moves them back behind the 50 and back into their own territory. 2nd and 10 on the 55-yard line.
And those holding penalties have been a big thing that's happened in these games. We haven't seen a solid play of anyone really on the offensive line not get a holding penalty. So we'd like to really see if we can get something going here for offensive lines getting penalized.
Ball's brought back all the way to the 38, excuse me. So now 1st and 17. Trip receivers out to the left side, spread out. Remington in shotgun. And they hand it off instead. Catches the Raiders off guard, but they're able to bounce back quickly and brought down behind the original line of scrimmage. Now 6 minutes left to go and the clock winding down. 17-3, Raiders are up. 2nd and 9 now for the Mustangs. So a big gain there, but still on their own 46-yard line. Remington really needs to come up big here if they put the trust in the passing game. Remington in the pocket, throws it over the middle, and it goes off the back of Tamatuatelli, and now a flag's thrown.
And we'll see what that is. It could be either way, offensive or defensive pass interference. It looked like it could have gone both ways, so we'll see how the officials call it.
So the pass goes off Tamatuatelli. And now pass interference called against the Raiders. So a 15-yard penalty. Looked like there wasn't pass interference as it went off the back of Tama, but hard to tell from up here. So Raiders, excuse me. That penalty was on number 35 for the Raiders. So now the Mustangs cross the 50-yard line again. They're on their own on the Raiders' 39-yard line. Remington in the pocket. Almost taken down, but scrambles out. Passes to the left side and taken down instantly. What looks from here to be Michael Bennett.
And a big clean hit right there, right along the sideline. That's what we like to see is our backs come in from the backfield and really just get a nice hit to stop a play from happening.
Now the ball on the Mullen 33. Throws it over the middle. And it's caught by the Mustangs and brought in for a touchdown. Mustangs put 6 on the board. 17-9 is the score with 4:51 left to go.
And that was definitely a mistake on the Raiders' defense there. We had a mismatched player. We had an extremely fast wide receiver on a more...
Tamatuatelli, who's more of a tight end type of guy. And right there, a mismatch. Remington, smart play, able to find him over the middle. Puts the Raiders still up 17-9. If this kick is good, it'll be 17-10, and the Mustangs will only be down by 7. Something we weren't expecting tonight. And the kick is good. Raiders now up by 7. So when you think it's over, it never is. We saw last game Mustangs scoring 26 in the fourth quarter, and they have the same energy. Wouldn't be surprised if they could score again tonight. But the Raiders as well are here to win and ready to score. We know the loser goes home. So, with that being said, Earl, both these teams are going to fight it out strong and hard. 4:51 left to go. We'll see if the Mustangs go for the onside kicker, try to kick deep and cause a 3 and out. So now, Keon is back deep. It's not Aubrey, as we were mistaken last time. And they go deep to Keon, who will pick it up, and it'll go into the end zone for a touchback. Ball brought up to the 20-yard line with 4:51 left to go in the fourth quarter, and it's just getting colder out here. So, cold hands means easier for a fumble to be caused, Earl. So the Raiders are going to have to hold on to the ball tight. And they can't have any mistakes here. This is a time for no mistakes. 17-10, 4:51 left to go. And one of the greatest matchups in high school history.
And definitely back to the cold hands point. We saw last game, Keon Martinez, a beautiful catch, but then just a fumble for a run back that was not very pleasing for the Raiders offense. But tonight we've seen more secure passes and catches, so just watching.
Ball tried to be brought up the middle, but stopped right away. And now Justin in shotgun, taking his time. Does a clap. And he's going to roll it to the left side, flips to Keon. Keon cuts back the other way. And is stopped before being able to get to the other sideline and take it up. So the run game is stopped with 3:50 left to go.
I've got to go.
No, you don't. Yeah. Give it to Carly. 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 You want to go on air? Earl has to go. Do you want to go on air? Justin now in shotgun. Has time to throw. Finds a guy to the right side. Looks like Cade Mendenhall on the reception. Enough for the first down. And now Earl Stevenson has to leave. Our color guy. So the Mustangs in a little bit of trouble now with the clock winding down at 3:05. Justin in shotgun again. Takes his time and he's going to wait for the play clock to wind down. Now play clock at 10. 5, 4, and Justin's going to snap it. Hands it off to Keon, who's going to just take it up the middle. Doesn't get much yardage, but holds on to the ball, which is the most important thing right now. And now a timeout for the Mullen Mustangs with 2:40 left to go. 17-10, Raiders are up. The Raiders are on the 35-yard line with 2nd and 9 to go. Both student sections still with a lot of energy as there's a lot of time left in this game. So now as we return on the Raiders Sports Network, Justin in shotgun. A receiver to his left, one to his right. And they're going to hand it off to Keon, who tries to get out to the right side, but it's taken down right away. Brings it to 3rd down. Looks like 7 to go. So now a timeout by the Mustangs. And it'll be 3rd and 8, on the 37-yard line.
You know, it's a smart play by getting that timeout, stalling the Raiders defense.
Raiders are on offense.
So,
correction, sorry about that. Correction, Raiders offense, to stall the Raiders offense.
So now the Raiders taking their time in the huddle. It's really the ultimate goal right here is Mustangs just trying to stop this clock as the Raiders are just going to let it wind down after each play. Mustangs have 0 timeouts left. So they need to cause a fumble or not let them get the first down here, which could be a game changer. Justin has Aubrey out to the right sideline and another one out to the left, but Keon keeps the ball instead. He's going to be stopped for a first down. Stopped for the 4th down. So that moves us now to, it looks like 4th and 4, but there's a flag on the play. 2nd and 29 left to go. Referees congregate together and talk over the call. We'll see what the final call is.
You know, tonight, Michael, our referees have been great so far. The calls have been relatively good. Great job for high school refs.
Looks like it's an illegal shift for the Raiders, which will push them back. We'll see what it is. The official call, we'll see where it puts them. Now the ref goes on the mic. So it is an illegal shift, but they're going to decline the penalty. So 4th and 8 now for the Regis Jesuit Raiders. 2:29 left to go. 17-10, Raiders are up. So, Pierce Thrasher set to kick. Looks like Vivens is set to receive this punt. Excuse me, it's Cerns. It's almost fumbled, but able to get a kickoff. And they're going to let it bounce. And picked up by the Raiders. Looks like it's right around the 40-yard line.
You know, Michael, hopefully our great defense can stop this pretty good this offense. One minute and 56 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Now, Remington in shotgun. 3 receivers out to the right side, spread out. Time in the pocket. In trouble. Throws it away to the Raiders sideline. Brings us to 2nd and 10 on the 42. This is a really important drive for the Mustangs with 1:50 left to go.
Trailing by 7, 1 touchdown and extra point will tie up the game. Let's see if they can do it.
1:50 left to go. We've seen Mullen drive down the field before. Plenty of time left in this game. 2nd and 10 now on the 42. Remington in shotgun. Same formation. 3 spread out to his right, 1 to his left. Fans starting to get on their feet. Now, throws it deep down the right side of the field. Almost picked off, but goes off the hands of Peppercorn. And that right there, Remington throws it deep down the field. The second deep pass we've seen this game. It's incomplete. And Chalmers, there's definitely been some improvement since the start of this game for Remington, because his first play was an interception, his first pass. And now he gets down here, he's throwing deep passes, almost gets one complete, but instead falls short.
Yeah, and you know, he got one in the end zone, but unfortunately it was declined.
Now Remington in shotgun. Throws it out to the right side. Has a guy open, and he's got room to run. Looks like he might get past the first down marker, and the chains do move. So Mullen driving down the field fast, ready to set up again. And they spike the ball right away, stopping the clock at 1:32. Mullen Mustangs, no timeouts left. It'll be 2nd and 10 now. Now they have time to talk about their next play and their next move.
Yeah, like I said earlier, it's a smart play to try and slow down the the defense.
Now Remington in shotgun. 2 receivers to the left side. Time in the pocket. Pump fakes to his right. Now throws to his right. A man covered by 2, and it goes out of bounds. Remington, the sophomore, I mind you. First time in a CHSAA playoff game. Just a sophomore. So definitely a lot of pressure on him as they don't have their star, Dominic DePizzle, tonight.
Yeah, Dom broke his hand a couple weeks ago. Fortunately for the Raiders.
Definitely changed the outcome of this game.
Indeed.
Now, Remington, 3 receivers out to his left side. Finds a guy open. Has room to run and then stopped by the Raiders. A huge gain and a beautiful pass by Remington. And this game is definitely not over yet. 1:19 left to go.
Flashback to earlier this season,
where the Mustangs scored 26 at the end of the game, and they spiked the ball there to make it 2nd and 10 and stop the clock at 1:15. Definitely a very important drive for the Mustangs, as this is the first round of the playoffs and an elimination game. A little bit of a tongue twister there. Now with 1:15 left to go, Mustangs on the 24-yard line, 2nd and 10. Remington in shotgun, 3 receivers out to his right side. Rolls out to the right side, throws it over the middle, finds a guy open. Taken down by the Raider defense, but not before the getting around 8 yards. Looks like the markers are set up on the sideline. 3rd down, scoreboard says 1st down, and now the chains move. So 1st and 10 on the 14-yard line. Remington really coming in clutch here with completed passes. Something you don't expect from him, as we saw earlier tonight. Not one of his best starts. Remington looks to his left side. Now starts to run. The ball comes out, and it's going to be recovered by the Raiders. And the Raiders recover the fumble. Going the other way now with 44 seconds left to go. 17-10. Regis is up. Remington, no time in the pocket.
Holy
Offensive line wasn't doing their job. Tried to roll out to the right side, and ball was hit out of his hands, and now it's going the other way. Raider sideline all pumped up right now. And what an unbelievable play right there, causing the fumble.
But Michael, we do know that in the past that anything can happen in the last minute. Yeah, definitely time to take a knee.
Yeah.
Not throw the ball.
No, we did. There was that mistake made last game. A lot of blame was thrown around in a situation just like this. 44 seconds left to go, 17-10. And they're going to blow a whistle. Looks like they... Looks like a timeout's going to be called now. This is the final timeout, I believe. So the Raiders cause a fumble with 44 seconds left to go. Hemington, with no time in the pocket, is taken down. And the ball comes out, recovered by the Raiders. And now the Raiders student section is hyped up, and so are the players. Unbelievable right now. Parents leave from the Mullen student section. And they believe this game's over, but this is high school football and anything can happen. Justin takes the knee with 37 seconds left to go. And now this game is going to come to an end as they let the clock wind down. But remember, both these schools are Catholic schools, and they'll meet up at the center of the field for prayer. Definitely some tension, though, as this rivalry has gone on for 81 years. So Regis will advance in the 5A playoffs. They go on to face Columbine next round. Well-fought game, but at the end of the game, came down to Remington losing the ball. And when Remington had no time in the pocket, ball came out and recovered by the Raiders. Really a game changer right there as Mullen was set up to score.
You know, it's been a great season so far for the Raiders. 10-1 now.
So now, an update on the scores. Cherry Creek beat Ralston Valley 34-21. Columbine beat Highlands Ranch with a huge lead, 45-14. So Regis will move on to play Columbine next round at Columbine. Next Friday, 7 o'clock, we'll be there. Watch live on NFHSnetwork.com. Pomona moves on with a win of 68-27, and Valor moves on 35-7. And now, with this game over, Regis Jesuit beating the Mullen Mustangs 17-10, a well-fought game, but It all came down to the small mistakes. But Chalmers, you have to give it up to the sophomore quarterback, Remington, who did a great job tonight and really just crushed it out there in his first time in the playoffs under pressure. He did a beautiful job, but Raiders able to come out on top. That'll do it for us on the Raider Sports Network. I'm Michael Manoogian, along with Chalmers Powell. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen.